Okay, in this video, we're going to log in and use Mixamo's website because this is just Mixamo.com. It's owned by Adobe. You do have to log in, so you have to have an Adobe ID for this, but I don't think you have to have any sort of subscription. In fact, I don't have an active subscription underneath my personal account, and I can log in just fine. Okay, once we log in, you can see here I'm logged in now. I have access to all of the animations and elements of Mixamo. I'm really happy that Adobe didn't kill this because it's super impressive. There are all kinds of characters that you can utilize in your own projects. So if I don't want to use my own character, if I want to use one of Mixamo's characters, I can. You can download these characters that are fully rigged and ready to animate, and you could even make some modifications, at least to the texturing level, pretty easily to this character. So if I liked the character, I just don't love the beigeness of it, I could download it and modify it. For this though, we're going to click upload character, and we're going to select our character file we just created a moment ago in the old man folder. So here he is. Now, if you want to see the character with all the textures, we can do that. We can actually add this to a zip file and it should work. So I'm going to go ahead and do that just so we can kind of see that happen. So I'm going to add compressed file. Looks great. Here it is, and hit open. So if we don't zip it, if we just pick the object file, it will upload, but it won't upload with any of the textures. That's probably fine, but just to save us the trouble. So I've went ahead and zipped it, and now I'm uploading the character and it's processing. Okay, here we go. It's done processing, and you can see here's the character. It looks fantastic. I'm going to hit next. Again, because we zipped it in a zip folder, the textures are showing up. It might look a little bit different than the finished one. So again, if there's some funkiness with the eyes or something, I wouldn't worry about it. So you can see we're basically doing exactly what it says here. We're denoting the different areas. Elbows are a little tricky on this guy because he's wearing the sweater. Maybe about there. Knees. Again, if the character wasn't fully clothed, this would be easier or had more revealing clothing. But we'll get it to work. Okay, so the last thing I can do is I can change the skeleton structure I want here. So depending on how complex of a skeleton you need for your animation, you might pick something different. We're going to try the standard skeleton, see if it works. With the script. I found a newer version of the script, so hopefully it'll work just fine. If it doesn't, we'll go back and we'll change the skeleton to maybe a simpler one, and we'll give that a go. Let's go ahead and again, I'm going to do a standard skeleton for it. Let's see what we get. Okay, so this could take a minute. You can see it says up here, it can take up to 2 minutes to auto rig. So we're just going to wait for this to do its thing. Okay, and here we are. So it's going to give us this little preview window to see if things are looking okay. It looks okay. I don't see any glaring issues, at least right now. Let's go ahead and hit next. Again, because I have another character in here, it's giving me a warning, but that's fine. And here we go. So now I have access to this entire animation library. So you can actually add the animations directly to your character and see what it looks like. So just to make this easy, I'm going to do idle, I think. Makes sense. We'll start there. Come on, idle. Search. And let's pick a nice idle animation. That feels a little floaty. We'll try this one. Kind of an action pose idle. So if I wanted something that maybe looks a little more casual, I can try to find another one. Again, any of these will work, even if they're showing a different character. So if I like, I don't know, this idle. So we can see there's our kind of character idling. We can also kind of play around with the stance a little bit. If your character is clipping, you can kind of play around with these settings and see if you can get it to avoid clipping. So that's kind of fun, looks good. Let's change the character arm space out a little bit. Okay, and if we're happy with it, I think it's fine, we'll just click download. Okay, now for this, you can download your character. And let's download. Let's see what we get. You can also download the character just rigged in a general T-pose. We'll get one of those too in a second here, just so we have more than one to work with. If I want to, again, I can click that and get rid of it. And then now if I want to download the character without the animation, again, looks great, download. Okay, let's go ahead and test this one out. Okay, and I will want to put my FBX file in that same folder with all of those textures to make sure they work right when we bring it over into Max. We're going to go ahead and do that in the next video.